Sanbonani, Southern Africa, Sanbonani, Far Eastern Catholic News. This is Kati Dijane. Just a small disclaimer, if you hear a background noise behind you, it's because today, the 16th of June 2026, we are here at Cristo Inkosi Parish, and that is the parish of Father Chaka. And basically, we are just here celebrating the day. A lot of young people here are celebrating this very eventful and special day indeed. So today we're celebrating 50 years since the uprising not even celebrating, but we are commemorating and remembering the uprising that took place in 1976 and so on. So today we are just looking at it from a different lens in the sense that we are celebrating young people in the country. So I really wanted to do this interview because I really felt inspired to celebrate and to give a special thanks to my dean. So my guest today is Father Chaka OP. OP is a Dominican, and I would love for him just to really introduce himself to you. But before he does that, I just wanted to do this interview so that we get to know our dean in the Far Eastern Deanery. And he is a priest who has given the blessing for us to continue the ministry in the Far Eastern, to promote our Catholic faith and to celebrate our faith as Catholics. And I just wanted to, in a special way, introduce you to our dean here in the Far Eastern, and just to celebrate him and to personally give him my thanks for allowing me to continue this ministry. And yeah, it's an opportunity for us to get to know our dean and just to also talk more about our deanery in the Far Eastern, just to get for you to also get to know it. It's one thing to minister and to interview people from different dioceses, but I just wanted to bring you closer to home in our deanery here in the Far Eastern. So Father, thank you so much for allowing this interview to happen.
Thank you, Kat. Thank you for coming through.
Yes.
To talk to us. Thank you.
Thank you, Father. I just would like as I mentioned, that the gist of this interview is for us to get to know you and our deanery here at the Far Eastern. Can you please introduce yourself to our audience? Who is Father Chaka? Why did he choose to be a Dominican, and what led him to heed, to listen to the voice of God, to be a priest?
Monica, thank you so much for the opportunity, and greetings to your viewers at home. My name is Father Chaka Motanyane. I was born in Lesotho at a place called Hammamatete at Tianeng. Sometime late in the 1960s, that's when I was born. And then I attended primary at St. David Primary School in Hamamate. And when I finished, I then went to St. Teresa Minor Seminary. It's in Roma. That's where I did my high school. And I think during our time, there were only two. It's either you joined the Oblates or you joined the diocese in Lesotho. We didn't have the many religious that we have here in South Africa. So I think I was doing Form 4. That's when I came into contact with the Dominicans. I then visited them in Maseru at their house. At the end of my matric, I then decided to join the Dominicans because I thought they were a little bit different from what we are used to. So I thought, no, let me try them and see where they will take me, whether my vocation will take me. The reason why I became a priest, I think it's because I was influenced my parish priest then, who was an OMI. During those days, priests didn't have the cars that we have now. Sometimes they will walk from village to village or use horses as a mode of transport as they visited different villages. But what struck me most was the ministry towards the sick, old people in villages. That's really when I said this is what I would like to do in the future. Be able to visit and care for the elderly, care for sick people. I think that's what drew me to the priesthood. I then joined the Dominicans in 1988 in Maseru. I did my postulancy, and from there I did my novitiate. I was then sent to St. Joseph Institute, a theological institute in Sidara, to study 2 years philosophy and 4 years theology. And I was ordained 6 December 1997. So this year, 6 December, I'll be clocking 30 years as a priest. I have served, when I started, I was sent to the Free State, where I served as a deacon. I then helped as a deacon in many parishes. The main one, which was the Dominican residence, was St. Dominic's in Velcom. And then I also worked a lot in the mines, because during those days there were a lot of Buntate from Lesotho who worked in the mines. So I was part of the team that looked after the mines in the around the Velcom area. Then from there, 2000, I was then transferred to work in Guatemala, where I worked for about 12 years as a parish priest. From there, I went to work I was at St. David's College, Marist in Anda, for 2 years. And then from there, I joined the SAPS as a chaplain to the police, where I worked for 10 years. And then I came back to work here in Guatemala. I'm now still here. I think my ministry is, the highlights of my ministry has been the opportunity to work with young people. I really do love working with young people to make sure that when they make choices for their future, they make informed choices. So often I invite people to come and talk to them, empower them so that they know exactly what they want or where they should go to knock at the doors that will open opportunities for them, be it education, be it studying businesses, or any other opportunity that they will know exactly where to go. And I think also that we're celebrating the 50th anniversary of June 16. I think it's also important that as parishes, we do look after our young people. They may not face the same challenges that they faced in 1976, but the challenges are still there for young people. Especially the biggest challenge, I think, is unemployment for our young people. So as the church, we need to think out of the box in terms of how can we assist our young people not only get employed, but also be able to start their own businesses so that they can, in future, when those businesses are successful, be able to hire other young people and that will help in them contributing positively in the country, the economy of the country, but also to build this country and to continue to make it a better place for all of us.
Thank you so much, Father, for such a beautiful introduction and for sharing with us how it all began. And when you gave us chronology of how everything has happened for you. Now, I would like for you to please share with us when you were, I don't know whether you get elected or appointed as a chaplain. When did that happen for you, and how has the journey been so far in terms of leading this deanery?
The deanery, we forward names as a deanery of people that would like to be our deans. So my name and the other names were forwarded to the then Archbishop Butitla Khale. For some reason I was chosen to lead the deanery. I think I took over from Father Martin Badenhorst, who had just left to go and work in Johannesburg. I think one of the challenges in our deanery is that we don't have a young diocesan priest. We are all religious in this deanery. So now and then a priest is moved. Sometimes 3 years, 2 years. So I feel that sometimes the parishes are not stable because priests get transferred quite quickly even before they have unpacked their suitcases. But I think if we have some diocesan young priest in the deanery, it would be nice. But I'm not saying I'm not happy with the religious because they do a lot. But it would be nice if we have a mix of religious, just for and diocesan to maintain some stability within the diocese. And also I think the Far East Rand, we are far from everything. So employment opportunities for our young people, they are very scarce and far in between. Because I think in the past, Springs Town was the hub of the economic activities in this deanery, in this part of the world. But many factories have closed down. And then also I think we don't even have a university. So everything that we need, we must go to Johannesburg or other places. So we are really far from everything.
As the name says.
Yeah, as the name says. And also in terms of the church. And I think in the past, the focus was in Soweto, Johannesburg, but hardly in our deanery. And thanks to Kati, because of this media, I think a lot of you are tired of hearing of the Far East Rand. But no, we are here and we are here to stay. I think we want to take this deanery to the next level, especially in terms of empowering our young people. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, Father. And so now what is your vision? You are saying that yes, you want to take it to the next level, but in your capacity as the dean, how would you like to see that a possibility?
I think one thing that we struggle with within the Catholic Church is the challenge of we need to learn as parishes to be self-sufficient, that we do projects that will bring money to the parishes, so that we don't rely only on collections, kabelo. I think we need to think out of the box in terms of, as a church in Southern Africa, what are the projects that we can do in parishes or maybe even in the diocese that will help us to be self-sustained, that we are able to generate our own income, do our own things. I think that's the biggest challenge. And then secondly, the empowerment of our young people. I think every parish must prioritize that, because they are not only the future leaders, they are the future now. We need to make sure that our young people are empowered. I think during the week, there was a video going around of the skills center in the Val. I was very, very touched and impressed by that because young people, they learn just soft skills to how to do plumbing, sewing, maybe things like bakery, things that, when one is finished with the training, they are able to go into the community and fix things, create employment for themselves, because we can all be employed by big companies. There are some of us who will not be employed. We need to do things, to learn how to do things for ourselves. So one of my dreams, whether it's at Christo Ngozi or any other parish, I hope we can have a center the same as that I saw in the Val, where young people learn soft skills so that they can do things for themselves. And also, I think the other challenge, especially in our own black communities, is the care of the old people. I think we can do better as a black community in terms of how do we care for our elders, people who can no longer do things themselves. We know it's still not embraced, this thing of taking people to old age homes. But when you visit families, sometimes you're heartbroken because there's simply no care for our elders, senior citizens. So I think that's one challenge that we need to look into as a deanery in terms of how do we encourage our people to look after our senior citizens. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Father. And as you are speaking, I'm also just drawn back to the history of our church in Southern Africa. This year we're celebrating 75 years as a hierarchy, the establishment of the hierarchy in Southern Africa. And I look back at the 70 years we celebrated 2 years ago here at Christo Ngozi. Last year in 2025, St. Nicholas in Davidson also celebrated its 70th anniversary. This year, just in May, we were celebrating also 70, if not 75 years as well, of St. Joseph in Actonville. So I'm seeing that, there was that sense of a very beautiful historic moment, not only for the church in Southern Africa, but for us as well as a deanery. If you can share with us maybe a message of hope pertaining to how far we have come as a church, not only in Southern Africa, but also in our deanery.
I think, we thank God that about 3 parishes or even more, they will be celebrating 70, 50 years anniversaries, which means the church really comes far in this deanery and any other deanery in the Archdiocese of Johannesburg. The church now is local. We don't have missionaries anymore. So maybe the question is, those of us who are here, how do we take the church forward with the many challenges that we are faced with? Right now we have this big tsunami of wanting foreigners to go. What do we say as a church? Those kind of challenges, how do we address those? But also, how do we bring together, especially, I think there's still that separation in terms of black communities, colored communities, and the white communities. How do we live the dream of 1994 so that we bring our people together? Because, for instance, when we have dinner events, other people, they don't come, other parishes, they don't come, they don't participate, which means there's still a gap that needs to be bridged so that we can all embrace each other as brothers and sisters. So I think that's the biggest challenge that we need to tackle as a deanery. But also, I think our own Catholicism, how do we keep it? Because I think there's a lot of influence coming from the Protestant churches, the born again churches, and we are bringing this influence. For instance, in some parishes, we hardly sing our Catholic hymnals. It's all choruses. If it's not choruses, then we sing hymns from other churches. For me, I think I'm a bit protective of my faith as a Catholic. And I would love to the church to go to continue to embrace our own Catholic, be proud of who we are as Catholics. Maybe there's nothing wrong to sing one or two songs from other churches or choruses, but what about I feel we are losing our own identity as Catholics, because everything has to be, we compromise. But we do visit other churches, other denominations. You can hardly see them sing Catholic. They don't even sing Catholic hymnals. Why can't we embrace and protect what we have as Catholics? We have a very rich history in this country and many parts of the world. You go to other countries like the United States, we hear that a lot of young people, they are now joining the Catholic Church. And maybe the question is why? Because I think one of the things, Americans are proud of who they are as Catholics. And so that's what I think we need to embrace, that we protect who we are and be proud of ourselves as Catholics, so that we can continue to take this church forward.
Beautiful and well said, Father. Thank you so much. We are going to wrap up this interview, but before we do that, this year we are celebrating 50 years of commemorating 50 years of the rising of June 1976. And I would like for you, Father, to please wrap it up with a message of hope to young people watching this interview. What is your message to them in terms of how we can move our faith in our country and our future forward?
I think to the young people of today, I think it's just a little reminder that people struggled in the past, and we must never take the sacrifices that they made for granted. We may face different challenges today, but the challenges are still there for young people. Young people must know what they want and go after that. We must never listen to anybody saying we are not good enough. We are good enough. Each one of us, each one of you, you are created differently. You have your own gifts and talents. Let us use those gifts and talents to empower yourselves, to focus. Entertainment and it's not the end. There's still so much that you can offer to the world. But I think education is also very key. It's very, very important. Given the opportunity that you go to school and learn and empower yourself, because education, nobody can take it away from you. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Father, for this opportunity and this sit down. And I'm very humbled. As I mentioned, I just wanted to introduce you to our dean here in the Vice Rank Deanery. We just wanted to celebrate him and to celebrate our deanery, especially in the context of young people here as we are commemorating 50 years of June 16, 1976. And I hope you were inspired, and I hope you are celebrating faith and youth month from wherever you are in Southern Africa. Until the next video, take care, God bless, and I love you very much.